Dave, great to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you as well. How are you?
Um, I'm good.
Yeah, good.
Zack Snyder has said we needed Dave for this role. How did it feel when Zack asked you to lead his army?
It felt, it felt amazing. I've been trying to work with Zach for years. And when this initially came to my attention, at first when, the idea was presented to me or the project was presented to me, I wasn't really interested. Then later on, it came back to my attention in a smaller part. And again, it was just something I wasn't looking for at the time. But then when I was told that Zach actually wanted me to play Scott Ward, which was the lead, I revisited the script. I read through it in detail, and then I really started to put a lot of thought into it. Then I had a conversation with Zach about Scott and about his background story and his redemption story, which I felt like was the heart of the film. Then I was all in, because it allowed me to not only really show off a side of myself as far as an action guy, but also really dive into that redemption story of Scott and show off an emotional side, which I needed in my career, like more than anything, desperately needed, and what I was looking for.
Well, I was going to ask you because there's a lot of scary moments in this, and I was wondering what scares you more, the zombies, the action, or the emotional scenes?
The emotional scenes, by far the emotional. Well, they are, because a lot of times, and even like things that you wouldn't think would bother me or get me worked up do. Like I'm not I'm not I don't like speaking to crowds. I get a social anxiety. So when there's when the whole cast is there and I have to be kind of front and center and be the guy with the loud voice, the commander, the guy in charge, that's very uncomfortable for me. And also like those very intimate, nuanced scenes where I just have to be full on, fully in it, and fully emotional. They're rough, they're challenging, and a lot of times, I have to draw from my own experiences, so they're exhausting. But those are always the challenges. Those are always the things that I get nervous about and worked up. The physical part, I've always been a physical person. I think I'm always going to be a physical person. So I don't get too worked up about that. If I think a stunt is over my head, then like I don't feel like I have anything to prove. I will call in my stunt double who's fully qualified, and I'll allow him to do that. But otherwise, I'm very comfortable and confident with my physicality.
There's a line in there. Scott says, if it's another day flipping burgers or dying on the strip, I'll
Right,
gamble on the strip. Do
right.
you remember that first time in your career that you took the gamble and how you felt?
Yeah. Why, there's been a few of those moments in my life, like come to terms moment where I need to do something, or or just I'm just gonna die where I'm at. But the first moment, I have to say, there was more, life changing for me, was actually when I decided that I was going to go into professional wrestling. That was when I left behind everything I knew and had and loved, and went off into this journey to try to make it into something I was told that I was never going to make it in. But the other time was when I actually made it in professional wrestling. I was on top, and then I knew that I had to leave something I loved and I was very successful at, or I was going to just be stuck there for the rest of my life. And I knew, after watching so many professional wrestlers just stay way too long, stay in the ring way too long, stay before they were, or way after they were wanted anymore or welcomed anymore, I just didn't want to end up like that either. And my opportunities in professional wrestling were just getting slim to none. So I ventured out. I left the company, left wrestling behind to pursue acting. It was something that I had been successful in that. I had become successful. I'd made a lot of money and made something out of my life, and I left it behind, and I lost it all. And then I had to I had to start over again, reinvent myself. And it was tough and it was scary, and it was it was Guardians of the Galaxy that really kind of changed the trajectory of my life. But it was, those two moments stand out more than anything. Leaving behind my life as a bouncer in Washington, D.C., to set off on a journey for wrestling, and leaving behind wrestling um, to set off on a journey to pursue acting.
Well, Dave, you keep gambling and backing yourself because look what's happening. Can't wait to see what
Yeah.
happens next.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dave. Lovely
Yeah,
to
it's a
meet
pleasure.
you.
Yeah, likewise.